Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and today I'd like to talk to you about technical denials of your claim by Social Security. This is where Social Security dismisses your case, not because they find that you're not disabled, but because there's a problem with your application. And believe it or not, this happens all the time. Social Security will take an application, the form is not properly filled out, or there's some other technical problem with it. They will dismiss your case. In theory, you're supposed to get a written notice of that. I will tell you that Social Security has a big problem where they say they mailed something out and people tell me, I never got it. And 2 years goes by and you're wondering what's going on, and we make an inquiry, we find out that the case was dismissed 2 years ago. And the claimant says, I never knew it. So first things first is that when you apply for disability, you communicate with Social Security, they almost always send you a written acknowledgement of that communication within about 2 or 3 weeks. So if you communicate with them and you don't get a written acknowledgement, that's when you pick up the phone, call up Social Security and say, did you receive this document? Generally speaking, if you call the 800 number, 800-772-1213, they'll be able to tell you after going through the voicemail tree that they did receive or did not receive a particular document. But some of the technical reasons cases are dismissed: you didn't fill out the form completely, you did it online, and somehow before you press submit, or either you didn't press submit and the case never went through to Social Security, or you left something off like an acknowledgement of your signature. Simple things like that. That would be grounds for a technical denial. You didn't put a date on things. You didn't allege an onset date. You did not include the names of your doctors or former employers, things like that. And they will send you a letter saying, we need this completed before we can process your case. If you don't get that letter or you get it and you don't fix it within a couple of weeks, your case gets kicked out, and it's done by a computer system. So the good news is Social Security is going paperless, but the bad news is some of these algorithms from the computer systems will kick out applications or forms that are not done properly. So you want to definitely make sure that you fill out everything in the form. Another reason I've seen cases kicked out would be if you're applying for SSDI, which is the insurance program where you've paid into the system, but you're alleging an onset date, the day you became disabled, after your insurance runs out. Now, you may not know when your insurance runs out. Generally speaking, it's about 5 years after you stop working, but it could be less. The mistake people make is when they fill their application out, they'll use, the Social Security will say on there, when did you become disabled? They'll put today's date, the day they fill the form out. Well, your insurance may have already run out. You've got to show that you became disabled prior to the date your insurance ran out. So if you stopped working 5 years ago, you're applying now and you put today's date, your insurance has already run out. So if Social Security sees somebody's applying for benefits but they're not insured, SSDI does not apply, they kick it out. It was a simple mistake, but you got to do it correctly. You got to put it in the right onset date before your date last insured. So generally speaking, your onset date should be around the time you stopped working. And a corollary to that would be when you apply for disability, SSDI, also apply for SSI. A lot of cases, a lot of times if you got household income or if you're eligible for SSDI, you won't qualify for SSI at all anyway. But that way, your case gets kept alive, so that if for some reason, if you apply for SSDI and SSI, there was a technical problem with your SSDI, at least the SSI application will continue to keep your case alive. I can later on go in and fix that. So again, apply for both SSDI and SSI. Another reason a case might be kicked out technically would be if your earnings record shows ongoing work at the time you're applying for benefits. Here too, you got to be careful because in the 5-step sequential evaluation process, one of the questions is, are you now working? If you say you are working, you are by definition not disabled. So generally speaking, when they ask the question, are you now working, the answer should be no. A lot of the stuff we can fix, we can fine tune it later on. We want to get you past the computer systems. We want to get your case into the hands of a live person who can evaluate it for substance, not for form. And again, what I'm telling you is that a lot of their computer systems, and they keep upgrading their computer systems and trying to make them more sophisticated, they're going to kick out applications that have fatal defects on the face of the application, and you may not realize that your case has a fatal defect simply because you didn't know how to fill it out properly. So again, I'm telling you, when you fill out your application, you want to say you're not working, and you want to make sure that you use the earliest possible onset date. That'll probably take out 85% of the technical denials that we see. So those are just some things to be aware of. And again, the third thing would be that if you communicate with Social Security, you should generally get a written receipt, a written acknowledgement, usually within 2 to 3 weeks, so you know they got it. And if you don't get that acknowledgement, pick up the phone, call up Social Security, the 800-772-1213, ask them, did you get this paperwork? When you get an attorney, the attorneys can do it for you, but if you're at the initial stage or you're at the recon and you're doing this on your own, you got to really make an effort to make sure that your case doesn't fall through the cracks and get lost, because that can happen. And more, like I said, more times than I'd care to tell you about, things get lost in the mail and people just don't know what's going on. So I want you to avoid having that happen to you. And this is a good way to avoid some of these technical dismissals and denials. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, subscribe to both the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Has this happened to you? What did you do about it? Let's discuss that. I'd like to hear from you. Go to my website, SSDanswers.com. You can download my Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. It is delivered by email. I keep adding to it. I think it's 25 or 30 installments right now. A lot of great information about how to win your disability case. And if you're not already represented and you'd like me to take a look at your case, happy to do that. Please go to, again, SSDanswers.com and fill out the case evaluation form. Again, only if you're not already represented. If you're working on your own, doing this on your own, I'd be happy to take a look at it and assist you any way I can. My name is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I do wish you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdAnswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.